I call this meeting of the Northeast Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. The time is 7:08. We're going to jump down to item 7, new business for possible board action. A, instruction and campus administration. 1, possible action regarding grant application resolution, Victims of Crime Act. Mr. Jimenez.
Good evening, President Grona, members of the board, Dr. Maika, executive staff, and 3 guests, excuse me. I'd like to invite Tyler Shoesmith, Senior Director of Student Leadership and Wellbeing, to the podium to address this agenda item. But I'd also like to provide a little bit of context for you. As you know, one of Dr. Maika's initiatives is the mental health well-being of students and of adults, employees. And we would like to apply for a grant that would add additional mental health opportunities to our district. This grant requires a board resolution to do so. And while this isn't typical, usually the grant application will ask for a signature from our superintendent or from our CFO. This one is asking for a resolution, and we don't want to pass on this great opportunity. And so we're bringing this to you tonight. And so I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Shoesmith so he can go into greater detail.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Board President, board members, Dr. Mike, executive staff, and guests. This is an incredible opportunity for us, and we're going to be modeling this after a couple other school districts who have a great template to be able to help provide mental health services for students and families on certain campuses that we're going to identify. And we're in the process of building the grant at the moment, and so this resolution is presented to you to be able to approve so that we can have it into the application process at the end of the month, and that's when it's due to the state governor's office. Would you like me to read the resolution? Yes. Thank you. Okay.
You need to read it.
Certainly. I'm sorry? All right. Whereas the Department of Student Leadership and Wellbeing is pursuing grant funding offered by the Office of Governor Public Safety Office Criminal Justice Division Campus Victim Assistance Program fiscal year 2021. Whereas upon the award of the Victims of Crime Act grant, the Northeast Independent School District Board of Trustees find it supportive of the well-being of students to pilot mental health clinics. These clinics will be operated in selected high schools and middle schools for a total of 4 campuses during the 2021 school year. Whereas the Northeast ISD Board of Trustees agrees to provide applicable matching funds or resources in kind for the said project as required by the Office of the Governor, Public Safety Office, Criminal Justice Division through the grant application. Whereas the Northeast ISD Board of Trustees agrees that in the event of loss or misuse of the Office of Governor's funds, the Northeast Board of Trustees assures that the funds will be returned to the Office of the Governor in full. Whereas the Northeast ISD Board of Trustees designates myself, Senior Director Tyler Shoesmith, of Student Leadership and Wellbeing, as the grantee's authorized official. The authorized official is given the power to apply for, accept, reject, alter, or terminate the grant on behalf of the applicant agency. Now therefore it be resolved that the Northeast ISD Board of Trustees approves submission of the grant application for the mental health clinics to the Office of the Governor.
You look like you wanted to say something. Does anybody have any questions?
No, I actually attended the session at Summer Leadership on this subject, and I am just so excited. I am so very excited that we're bringing this to NEISD. Oh my goodness.
Okay, well, we're not bringing it. We're
Well,
applying for a grant.
I'm hopeful, Dr. Maika.
We have
I'm
to
hopeful.
ask for
I
it
know.
first.
I'm hopeful.
But right, we are very excited as well. When we read this resolution, they talk about the money. What it really is in kind from the district. So it's space, it's the personnel. It's not adding any additional cost. So we're not going to be, because when Mr. Shoesmith and Mr. Jimenez brought this to me, they immediately saw my reaction as, hold up, what are we asking for in resources? Because, we're already, Mr. Villarreal and I are working on starting to look at our budget for this coming school year. And he said, no, all of these things that they're saying are all in kind. Things that we already have, the building, the space, those types of things. It's nothing, there's no budget requirement on our part.
So there's no matching funds or anything like that we have to put
No
up?
cash funds.
Cash funds, right.
Yes, sir.
So And so in the application, you have to spell out all the resources that you're going to provide.
Like 20% of my salary will be devoted to the grant, management space and the value of that space over time. What we would charge to an outside entity to be able to use that space. All those things add up. Yes, sir.
I think it's fantastic, and sorry you had to wait a week and a half to.
That's okay.
To get in front
Happy
of us.
to be here.
Yes, but-
So, Dr. Mike, I do have a question because I'm hopeful and it's a positive day. So, should the grant come through and things go well, and I know that this is going to be a successful program, are we able to apply for additional grants to get more facilities on additional campuses? 4 out of, wait, how many
Out
middle
of,
schools?
14.
no, there's 14 middle and 7 comprehensive high schools.
I was trying to remember.
So,
So 24
Mr. Shoesmith, do we have the potential then, in the future, should this grant be awarded, to apply for an additional grant for more sites? Or
Yes, sir.
we-
There's no ceiling to the grant
Oh,
application
my
funding
goodness.
request. We are putting our toes in the water to test pilot to make sure that this is something that we can feasibly do. And when it becomes successful, then we're going to scale up at that moment. It's an annual grant, so we can look at this each year.
And Ms. Winkley, if you heard Mr. Shoesmith, when it's successful,
It is
so he's channeling your positive vibe.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is awesome. Okay, anybody else have any questions?
I just had one is this because I'm always surprised by what we are doing that's so far ahead of what other districts are doing. Like, guys, I just had it brought to my attention again that family specialists that we have always taken for granted, most districts don't have. To me, this just seems like another piece of things that we're so far ahead of the curve on other districts. So for us, this is almost an easy fit. Things are in place already to where we can take off with this right away.
Yes, ma'am.
That should make it a done deal.
Positive thinking.
Well,
I'm
Deb
going
and her
with your
grant
positive.
writers are doing a great job putting
you,
together a
Deb.
good application for us, and we'll have a very successful attempt at getting
Your
this
whole
grant.
department is incredible.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so any other comments or questions? Do I have a, I'm sorry?
I'd just like to mention that this program has a special meaning for me because, so my mom passed away in '81, and the last job that she had after being an educator was working for the City of San Antonio Victims of Crime program.
Aw,
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
I'm glad to see that this program is still around and hopefully still helping those in need.
It is truly a fabulous, if we are awarded this grant, I am very excited about what we're going to be able to offer 4 of our schools and how it can assist our families. I think that's the most exciting piece. So hopefully we're awarded it.
Yes, sir.
Deb, I know, has worked very hard to make it happen, so.
Vic is working hard. Victor Garcia is working on it very hard.
Okay, anything else? Because every time I try to go to a motion,
I
somebody
know.
wants to say
We're just
something.
so excited.
I'll help you
We're
with
so
that.
excited.
Go ahead, David. Or you just,
Oh,
David moves for approval.
do you want my favorite word? No, I'm just kidding. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees of the Northeast Independent School District approve the resolution. Do I have a motion?
so moved.
Thank you, Mr. Hasso. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Winkley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Okay, item,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Deb. Item 4, executive session. The board will now adjourn into executive session pursuant to the following sections of the Texas Open Meetings Act. Texas Government Code Section 551.071, private consultation with the board's attorney. 551.072, discussing purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. 551.074, to discuss personnel or to hear complaints against personnel, and the time is 7:18.